Hi, I'm Todd Bueler, and I'm here to talk about my book, The Life of a 1970s Teenager. The book is a memoir about growing up in a small neighborhood in southwest Toronto called Swansea.
I know Swansea.
Toronto.
I know Swansea so well, my youngest is going to play house league soccer at Rennie Park.
That is fantastic.
Well, we're going to get into it, Todd. I got music. I got questions. Welcome to episode 1851 of Toronto Mic'd, an award-winning podcast proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery. Order online at greatlakesbeer.com for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Visit palmapasta.com for more. Fusion Corp's own Nick Iones. He's the host of Building Toronto Skyline and Building Success, two podcasts that you ought to listen to. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, making his Toronto Mic'd debut, he's going to tell me all about being a 1970s teenager in Swansea. It's Todd Bueler. Bueler. Todd, how you doing, buddy?
Great, Mike. It's great to be here. How are you?
Great to meet you. I'm setting up this episode by just saying to the listenership that I was a teenager in the 1990s, and I barely remember the 70s. Although I was around for more than half the 70s, I barely remember the 1970s. So you're going to help me fully appreciate and understand what it was like to be a teenager in the 1970s in a West Toronto neighborhood.
It was glorious. Things were obviously much different then than they are now. Even in the 90s, there was no cell phone, no internet, no computer. All you had was a phone, and most people didn't even have an answering machine.
Right.
And it was, there was very little parental supervision. That thing about the lights going out, I don't know about that. When the lights come on.
Yeah, when the lights, you could go out with your buds, but when the lights came on, the street lights came on, that was the time you're supposed to go home. Yeah.
In Swansea, it wasn't, a couple of families were like that, but I don't really remember that. Like, there was a lot of freedom. There were really no adults around.
Well, hey, so you're going to paint a picture for me of being a teenager in the 70s in Swansea. If you're not aware of because Swansea, that's, that's in England. No, the neighborhood in Toronto, Swansea, I know it very well.
Right.
That's where you were born and raised. You still live in Swansea?
Yeah, and I was born in Toronto, but for the first 2 years, my family lived in Aurora, so in 64, and then we moved to Swansea, and since then I've been there, and I'm 63 now.
Okay, so you're born and raised. Oh, not born. Okay, born in Aurora, but 2 years that doesn't matter to me. Okay,
technicality, right? Yeah.
So Swansea again. I'm going to chime in a little bit because it's my show, Todd. You can't stop me from doing that.
Sure.
But I want to let the listenership know that you have sent in 10 songs that you would have been listening to in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And they're in chronological order. So we're going to, it's also like, as we talk about your experiences growing up in Swansea in the 70s, or being a teenager in Swansea in the 70s, we'll hear music that will accompany our journey. Like, this is a great episode of Toronto Mic'd.
That's, I listen to that music sometimes, but hearing it again today is going to be pretty good.
In the headphones, it's going to take you right back.
I bet.
And I just want to let the listenership know, though, that you wrote a book.
I did.
The Life of a 1970s Teenager.
Yes.
So I'm going to steal that name for this episode of Toronto Mic'd. Is that okay, Todd?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so your book is available now. People can actually pick up your book. I was going through it, and you just gave me a copy. Everybody, it happened right now, real time. I love it. The Life of a 1970s Teenager.
Signed. I signed it for you, bud.
Oh, get out of here. Now I'm going to have trouble reselling it. Todd, come on. What are you doing to me here?
No, but it's not personalized, so it's okay. So you can still sell it.
It's evergreen. Okay. What was it really like to be a teenager in the big city in the 1970s? So first of all, it says here, leaving school at age 15. What do you mean you left school at 8? What school did you go to? Swansea? Where were you?
Western
right.
Tech. Yeah, Swansea from kindergarten to 8, and then Western.
Of course, it's always a Western Tech or Humberside, right? It's one of the other two.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So why did you leave school at the young age of 15?
Oh, okay. I didn't think we'd get into this early, but it's on the back of the book.
Get the music.
Oh, sure.
It's on the back of the book.
It's in the back of the book.
Do you want to get to it later?
No, we can talk about that a little bit now. We can also revisit it. But yeah, I didn't like school.
I didn't like it either.
And I didn't go to school. And I hung out with my buds and my girlfriends, and we didn't go to school. And then they didn't really do much about it. So it went for like a whole year, grade 9. I missed like a lot, like 80%. And I was just hanging out and not going and sleeping at home or reading all day or out in the back. There was back of Western, we call it back of the calf. It was the back of the cafeteria.
Right.
On the north side. Yeah. I can't remember what side it was. It's all weird there. And so one day I was back there, and this is the second year. So the first year I failed miserably. Because I never went. I got like 0.9 of a credit. I don't know if you can get 0.9 of a credit. So I had to, I failed, right? So I had to repeat grade 9.
0.9? Like, is it at 1 or 0? Like,
I don't know. It's on my transcript, though, because I looked at it before I came over for today.
It's amazing you were able to write a book.
Well, we fixed that later on. We can get into that. So what happened was, I was pretty literate, though. I read a lot at a young age. I read a lot of stuff.
But Playboy doesn't count, man.
So I first 2 weeks of school, a second year, I skipped. Totally skipped.
Yeah.
Didn't go at all. And drinking beer in the back of the calf with my buddies. And
what was your beer choice back then?
Export, blue. Some blue. No. If you drank blue, you weren't really that cool. It was, export. Right? Molson's Export, right?
Of course.
Full strength. I don't think we had light stuff.
So you're painting. I'm just telling you, I like the details. You're going to paint a picture for me. But you weren't going to school, so you're like, why don't I just get a job? I'm guessing here.
I was 14. I was not legally allowed to leave school. So I turned 15 the second year in September. That's my birthday.
Right.
So I was in the back of the calf second week after, and who shows up in the back of the calf? The old VP, the vice principal, right? And he knows me quite well. And he says, Bueler, what are you doing here? And you boys and all that stuff. You're supposed to be in class. And Bueler, I got to speak to you. And I'm going, oh my God, right? And he sees the beer. So the other guys take off.
Take off.
Yeah, they took off.
To the great white north.
And Getty Lee, yeah. So he took the case of beer.
Yeah.
And he said, you're coming with me, Bueler. And I went to his office, and we were walking through the halls, and it's a big high school.
Yeah.
And it was right when the bell rang. So there's like hundreds and hundreds of kids changing classes, and a couple teachers, and everyone's clapping at me, and of course the teachers are shaking their heads, right? So he's got the beer, and we go to his office, and he says, puts me in his office, closes the door, takes the beer, and he says, don't move, I'll be right back. So he closed the door and, keeping me on ice for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. And at this point, I just didn't give a crap about what's going to happen, right?
You can swear on this show. I feel like that's too clean. Come on. You didn't give a shit.
No, I did not. So he came back, and he kind of went through, looking at my transcript, and he says, you're expelled. And I said, so expelled is different than suspended. Suspended means you come back.
Right.
Expelled means you're gone. You do not come
You're
back.
gone. You don't go to Western Tech anymore.
And you don't go to, you don't go. You're out of this school. So he went through some things, and it's in the book. It's all in the book in detail. And
Shout out to Nick Kiprios.
the conversations in detail. And he gave me a note to give to my parents. And he said, don't come back. And he said, good luck, Todd. See ya. Clean your locker out. And that was the end of that. And I never returned to school until I was an adult. After that, I went to work. A couple weeks later, got a job. I had to go to court, family court, with my mom because I was 15. You're not legally allowed to leave school until you're 16.
Interesting.
And I tell you, it was all just, whatever. You want to quit? That's fine.
Wow, what a different time.
The judge, my parents, everything. It was just, and no one ever...
Good luck to you.
Yeah, and no one ever told me. And I was just a boy, right?
Yeah.
Very immature.
Yeah.
And no one ever said, if you quit, life's going to be really difficult. You're going to be working...
Yeah. What do you know? You're just a kid.
Yeah, and you
don't like school, so you're like, okay.
Oh, 100%, right? I'm
good with this.
I'm good with this.
I got my beer. I got my girl.
Yep. Got a car.
You got a car. You have a car. You have a girl. You have beer.
Everything, right?
You got it all.
What else do you need, right? You got Rush and
you got Geddy Lee.
Triumph.
Oh my God! 2/3 of Triumph FOTMs like you.
Yeah, first concert I saw, Triumph, Maple Leaf Gardens, 1978. Man, were they? Oh, that just killed. They just killed. So that was it. So I went to work. And that's the school story.
Okay, so some say that was the night the lights went out at Western Tech. I don't know if you've heard that before.
I have not.
Okay, so I'm sprinkling music in as we chat.
This is a great song.
So
great song.
We're starting in what, 73 here?
Yeah, this is 73.
He was on his way home from Candletop. Been 2 weeks gone and he thought he'd stop at Webb's and have him a drink before he went home to her. Andy Wallow said hello, and he said hi, what's doing? Whoa, said sit down, I got some bad news, it's gonna hurt. Said I'm your best friend and you know that's right, but your young bride ain't home tonight. Since you've been gone, she's been seeing that Amos boy Seth. Well, he got mad and he saw red, and Andy said, boy, don't you lose your head, 'cause to tell you the truth, I've been with her myself. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they hung an innocent man. Well, don't trust your soul to no backwoods southern lawyer, 'cause the judge in the town's got bloodstains on his hands.
Todd, I'm going to have questions about the songs you chose, okay? So I have a question.
Sure.
Part of my ignorance, I know I could Google it, but I'd rather find out from you.
Oh, I know.
Was the Carol Burnett show on the air when this song dropped?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it like to be a teenager to hear this song? What is it, 1050 Chum? Where are you hearing this?
Yeah, definitely. 1050 Chum, CFTR, AM, and it's everywhere.
Yeah,
you cannot get away from this song.
This was a banger. Okay. But what's it like when you're like, oh, she's the gal from the Carol Burnett show?
I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
We didn't know at the time. We didn't know who she was.
Right.
Right? We were kids. Right? I think I was like 11, right?
Right.
So, but the reason why I like this song so much is it's a big, long story, right? And we were always talking about, no, this happened. No, this means this, and this is this. And it's funny. I saw an interview with Vicki Lawrence years ago, and it was her husband at the time who wrote this song. They shopped it around to Cher and stuff, and no one wanted it. So Vicki just said,
it sounds like it should be a Cher song, right?
Yeah, and no one wanted it. So Vicki just said, F it. I'm going to record it.
Fuck it. I'm sing it myself.
There you go. And she did. And it became a #1 hit. And later on, though, she goes, I don't even know what the hell's going on in that song.
It's like, it's a story song. Sort of like, what's the guy who jumped off the Waxahachie Bridge or whatever. Who's it's like Billy Joe.
Yeah, the Ode to Billy Joe. There
which
you
is
go.
another
Yeah.
song where it's like, oh, we're telling a story here. It's like, let me tell you about Billy Joe or whatever.
But if you like, I know this on guitar and I can play it like on acoustic. But so you get to know it a little bit, and the story's straightforward. There's no ambiguity or anything. Or it's a great song.
And then years later, she would become Mama from Mama's Family. Yeah. There's a mind blow for the Mama family heads out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you again. How did you discover Toronto Mic'd?
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
You never know what I'm going to ask you. You got to be on your toes here.
I'm on my toes, sir. It's a small world. Let's put it that way, okay? So I know Chris Higgins.
Chris Higgins, episode 1834 of Toronto Mic'd.
Chris Higgins is a fantastic writer and just an amazing historian. Yep. He's written 3 books so far, and he was on your podcast just a little while ago.
Very recently.
And he wrote the foreword to my book.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So did Chris tell you he was going to be on a podcast? Because we did an episode about the Humber River, which is, not too far from your stomping grounds there.
Correct. No, he didn't. He, I talked to him, but I don't talk to him all the time. We are writing buddies, though. We talk about writing and all that stuff. And no, he just posted, and I just went, I said, he just posted. I said, oh, that's great. How do I get on there?
Right.
And he said, email him. I said, okay.
Well, you know what? You said, what a great idea. And you got on. Like, you're here now.
I am.
Has that sunk in yet? Like, you're making your Toronto Mike debut, talking about growing up in Swansea in the 70s, and you got a book about it. Like, we're listening to jams. I have some fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Brewery for you.
I love that beer.
You want to crack one now?
No.
Okay, but you're taking that home with you?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a Palma Pasta lasagna in my freezer for you.
Love it.
Like, this is happening now. I have a measuring tape from Ridley Funeral Home for you.
I don't know what the hell that is.
The measuring tape or the Ridley Funeral Home?
The measuring tape.
There you go.
Look at that. That's fantastic.
Like, this is happening. You're in the same club that Chris Higgins is in.
You know what? I will never be in the same club as Chris Higgins, okay? But I will say that I'm enjoying being here. Yeah, it was quite a blast when I emailed you and you just said, tell you what, Todd, give me some of your 10 songs and we'll have you on. I just went, oh my God.
I couldn't say no to you.
Oh,
I just
thank
said,
you.
let me just tweak it a bit so I can get excited about it, which is that not only are we going to talk about growing up in the Swansea neighborhood of Toronto in the 70s as a teenager, but we're going to listen to some sweet 70s jams.
Definitely. Yeah. So,
Love it.
So yeah, what's it feel like to be here? I don't know.
You'll let me know when it sinks in.
I guess it'll hit me after.
It hasn't hit me yet. That's a Blue Rodeo song.
Is that right?
It hasn't hit me yet. It's a really good one, yeah.
Okay. So when I told my wife and my kids about this,
they said, who's Toronto Mike?
No, not at all. They just went, no way. And I went, yes, I'm going to be on Toronto Mike for my
This
book.
is the gateway to the national, okay? Because Ian Hanno-Mansing listens to Toronto Mike. And
oh, my God.
More than one occasion, he has had a guest on his program you might have heard of called The National.
Definitely.
Because he heard that guest on Toronto Mike.
That's, you know what? That would be great.
I would love to see.
I so appreciate you having me on today.
Well, I'm happy to have you here. I want to tell the listenership you've given me a gift already, the book, but you brought donuts.
I did.
Like, when I'm listening to jams, is it rude if I had a donut?
No, not at all.
Let's see if I can finagle this. So let me just say about Chris Higgins real quick here before I play another jam and we get into it.
Yeah. He taught my kids at Swansea Public School.
That's where I was going. What a small world. So he taught your kids in the 90s. So okay, so your kids are a bit younger than me. Okay, so your kids that were at Swansea Public School in the 90s, and Chris Higgins was a teacher there. Yeah,
my kids are 35 and 31 now. And how I met Chris again, I didn't really know him. I guess parent-teacher night, but I couldn't remember him. And I was putting some stories up when I started writing my book on Facebook. And he was on the neighborhood group. And he messaged me and he says, are you that same Todd Bueler do you have like kids, right? And I said, yeah. And he named my kids, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, oh, okay. And so then we started talking and he said, I really like your stories. And he was writing the river book then.
Yes.
But I was not writing the book then. I was just kind of writing a few stories and throwing them up. And
Right.
Just because I had been telling these stories for decades to my families and friends, right? And so he said to me, he said, maybe you should write a book. I think he said, I can't remember. But anyways,
at some level, he inspired this very book. I'm
100%.
Right,
we would meet for coffee, and just this is about the stories.
So you got this connection to Higgins, and Higgins was. I shared this on his episode, but my oldest was a Timbit at Rennie Park, Swansea hockey. He was doing the Timbits, learn to play hockey,
right?
And we had the opportunity to play during the first intermission of a Leafs game.
Oh, great.
And his son was on that team. So afterwards, this was a great day. My boy played at the what we now call Scotiabank Arena. And Jim Cuddy, by the way, who wrote Hasn't Hit Me Yet, who sang and wrote Hasn't Hit Me Yet, he did the O Canada. So he walked right by us to do O Canada before that game started. But all this is to say, it was Chris Higgins who sent me the video, like a video collage that he took from that event.
Wow.
Like, that's a small world story.
It's a very small world. I
want to get back to Swansea. I want to start the song, though.
Yeah.
So I can get into a donut.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about the Swansea Hockey Association.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like if I knew where the post was, I would say something and hit it.
This is the slow dance.
Hey, cheek to cheek.
Yeah.
You ready, Todd? Let's dance, brother.
It's the slow dance at the Swansea pre-teen dances or teen dances. Friday, Saturday nights.
Where is the post? Is there one? Here, it's coming. Well, here, let me bring it down so we can hear you better. Talk about the song while it plays. Like, I love just hearing, what is this song?
Well, this is McCartney and Wings, right, off the album Band on the Run. And this song, they played this all the time, and they turned the lights down low on Friday and Saturday nights for the slow dances at the Swansea Rec Center on Lavinia. And we were like 11, 10, 12, right, 13, so you're preteens, and you got your best girl, and you get up and you dance close, right, in the dark.
Like, were you allowed to put your fingertips on the derriere?
It's not the 50s. it's the 70s. Lots of free love. Well, not at that age, but there was no issue with that stuff. No.
So this is kind of it's a deep cut, right? Because you wouldn't hear this song on 1050 Chum, would you?
No.
You'd hear Band on the Run or whatever, but you wouldn't hear you wouldn't hear this one. What's this one called again? Let it roll. Let me roll it. Well, let's get the right title here. This is important stuff. This song is called "Let Me Roll It."
There you go.
Is it about a jazz cigarette? What are you rolling here?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think it's a love story. I think he's talking to his girl.
Okay. Do you want a donut, Todd, or do you need to focus on talking? Okay.
No.
So I'm going to eat a donut if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
But you played in the same house league hockey league that I played in.
Yeah.
A couple of years before me, but you were in the early 70s. You're playing at Swansea, the Swansea House League hockey that I referenced quite a bit. It was at Rennie Park because that's where I played hockey. Yeah,
I played for like Runnymede Hardware. Played for Super Test. Remember that old gas station? Played for Cecil Ward Men's Shop. All these.
Jeez, that's a name that brings me back. I think when I went to Catholic school, and I think we might have had to get our uniform there. I'm not sure.
You went to Catholic school? What? Michael Power?
Well, so primary school. I'm at St. Pius.
You went to St. Pius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, before that, I was at St. Cecilia's.
Okay, Cecilia up on a net.
And then when it came time for high school, I went to the original location of Michael Power. I'm the last graduating class from the original Michael Power location.
Did you have to stay till 4 o'clock? Like because when there
Why am I staying till 4? Sorry.
Because
it's so rude.
When I was in grade school, we had I had some friends who were Catholics, and they went to St. Pius, and they had to stay till 4 when we were getting out at 3:15.
I don't remember what time we were dismissed. Like, I don't have a sense of what that time
That was a big deal.
It might have changed. Like, I'm going there in the 80s, but
okay, that was a big deal for them, right? Because when you're a kid, 45 minutes extra and all your buddies are, I'd go up to St. Pius and wait for them to come out to hang out.
Well, it's
right?
possible we started later. Like, it all evened out, I'm sure.
No,
but, okay, I didn't know this.
I think because you guys had to have religious class or something, so you got extra stuff.
You know what? I didn't choose to go there, but I was indoctrinated into this cult called Catholicism. I'm still rooting myself out of it.
Good for you.
But these back to Swansea.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's fine. Good for me is right. So I got 4 kids, and none of them have been indoctrinated into the cult.
So you had sisters though who taught you, right?
So there were. They were what, to be honest, okay, by the time I get there, so I'm born in 74.
Are they called habits?
That's what they wear. They wear a habit, yeah.
Right.
But there weren't a lot left. Like, I think that was more older school, maybe when you were going. But I feel like most of the nuns were gone. Like, I had a nun, grade 2. My teacher was Sister Charlotte.
Okay.
She was a big Gretzky head. Like, I think she
Really?
was from Edmonton, but she was a huge Oilers fan. The Oilers were really, really good, as you remember, in the early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And she would wear like lots of Oilers stuff. And yeah, I thought it was kind of neat that there's a nun. And by the way, at that point, they weren't wearing the habits anymore. Like, she would dress like a normal person.
But did you not have religious class?
I think we definitely,
I don't know what you would call it.
We took religion. We took religion. That was part of the deal. Like, we had to learn about the sacraments, and then we had to get First Communion was a thing in grade 2.
I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what
Confirmation?
you're talking about. I don't know what that means.
It's going to be in my book.
That's okay. Yeah, good.
The title of my book, Lapsed Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm going to detail all this. But it's interesting you played in the same house league as me.
Yeah.
And because I thoroughly enjoyed, I mean, looking back now, it's like, oh, we had to play outdoors. So, we had to stop when Mother Nature decided that ice was going to be,
we did not stop. We played like minus 100. That's too bad.
No, I meant the other way.
What do you mean the other way?
Well, let's say it's March. Like, it's too warm to keep the ice at there, right? Like, it would be too warm.
Oh, but when I was a kid, that didn't even enter our mind. That was just the end of the hockey season. Of course, I guess nowadays it's just like I think if anyone played at George Bell, right?
My oldest moved from Swansea to George Bell.
Right. So I think if you played at George Bell back then, I mean, you were like a rich kid or something. Because you could play inside.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you started in like October, and then you got to go through April. It was a much longer season, and that's why I think my boy switched over. But I have great experiences, great memories of me playing at Swansea. I wanted my kids to play at Swansea, but yeah, they moved indoors to George Bell. The rest is history.
But it was a lot colder in the 70s. And so maybe it went a little longer, but I just remember coming home with, not frostbite, but just really cold toes, man. Right? But I don't care. I loved it, right? Played from, I guess, age 7 to probably about 12.
I liked you name checking the teams because, again, you got a few years on me, but by the time I get there, I remember Mr. Grosser was a team.
Okay.
So Mr. Grosser, I played for a team one year called Sam's Auto Repair.
Never heard of these two.
One year, CN Tower put in a team. We were called the CN Towers. We didn't win a game that entire season, and I got to play for the CN Towers.
Okay.
Devries and Davidson. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
There was a team called Devries and Davidson. I don't know what that means. Esso had a team.
No.
So maybe that was your gas station. I don't know.
Super test.
Okay, so Esso had a team.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
They were actually pretty good. And I remember because they had multiple players that were wearing Cooperalls. And when I was playing at Swansea, the good players who played house league but also played a more competitive, I don't know, they played in more competitive.
MTHL or something, yeah.
They had Cooperalls.
Right.
Like, so if you saw a player in Cooperalls, they were going to be good.
And they had money.
Maybe so. Yeah,
those
Cooperalls weren't cheap.
Yeah, well, I just had the cheapy CCM skates,
of
right?
course.
And then the guys who had money, they had tax or super tax skates, right?
Right.
And they were
classism.
Yeah, and they looked down their nose at you, and you don't got tax. Get out of here, Bueler.
So Bueller. I was when you were telling that story about Western Tech when you were vice principal, I was thinking, this is where the Ferris Bueller's Day Off comes from. Like you were the
day off, friggin' year off. For crying out loud.
Yeah, the night the lights went out at Western Tech.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going quickly to a third jam because then we have to explore a lot more here.
Yeah, sure.
But the donut's great. Good sugar rush. I'll try not to chew when I talk, but I'll dedicate this song to a guy who just left.
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land?
My wife will love this.
Should I stayed on the phone? Should have listened to my own mind? You know you can't hold me forever. I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open. This boy's too young to be You can't plant me in your penthouse.
Breaking news. I'm getting another gift. Maybe I'll get a gift every jam here. This is a coffee mug, The Life of a 1970s Teenager. You're smart because I'm going to put this somewhere in the studio, and it's going to
Great.
get referenced a million times.
Fantastic.
You're a smart guy. So I mentioned I'm dedicating this Elton John jam to a guy who just left, because to tell the listenership the behind-the-scenes tale as I peel back the curtain, we're recording at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, February 17th. And I just finished Toast with Rob Pruce and Bob Willett, and they literally left at like 1 p.m. So I think I went upstairs, I posted that episode, and then I came right back here to kick out some jams with you. But thank you for this coffee cup.
You're very welcome. Enjoy.
When you were telling me small world stuff, and you said, "Hey, I'm friends with Chris Higgins," and
Right.
we talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering if there's any other FOTMs that you're personally connected to.
100%. Like these guys have, these people have been on your podcast. Although one, I don't think I know. One is so it's Bob Makowitz Jr.
Yes.
Who you've had on.
Absolutely.
Great guy. And I went to night school with him in I think it's like 88, summer of 88. So I would have been about 25 then, and I guess he would have been 18. And we were I think we were taking American history. So I don't know if he was behind or if he wanted to get ahead. I'm not sure which one it was. I can't remember, right?
Well, remember, his dad was a big deal at Q107.
Then he was.
Yeah, Bob Mack, who's no longer with us. Shout out to
Yeah.
Baby Funeral Home. But yeah, Q107.
Great guy. Yeah. So we would go out for breaks, right? Because there was night school, and it was I think it was summer, it was summer, and because it was warm out, so you go out for breaks. And here's this kid. Well, to me, he's a kid, right? I'm 25. He's 18. I'm married, right? Living by myself with my wife, and we would have these not really deep discussions, but like discussions that an 18-year-old boy really doesn't discuss.
He's
like
a deep thinker.
The Watergate scandal. Like here we are. Well, he wasn't, but I was, smoking a butt out, in between classes, and we'd start talking about Watergate, right? And I went, I don't think Nixon knew anything about it, which it comes out later he really didn't, right? And Bob's going, oh no, I think he knew everything about it. That's why they cut the tape and stuff like that. And I'm just like floored. He starts rambling off all this stuff, and the secretary deleted all this stuff and all this stuff. So that's my connection with Bob. And for a young guy to talk about that, we talked about other stuff too, but that's just the one thing that sits in my mind.
I'm not surprised that you would bump into Bob Makowitz Jr. I know he was good friends of Humberside student Jeff Merrick.
Right. So we went to Parkdale High School on Jameson. I think that's Jameson. Is it Jameson?
Yeah, Jameson's a bit east, right?
Yeah, but that's Parkdale. That's where we went to the night school.
Okay.
Right? So he'll remember me now that after I've told that story. He'll remember me from going there.
Well, Mako is a part of this overnight show on the Fan 590, and it's Mako, Jeff Merrick, and George Strombolopoulos that are this show. And the program director at the Fan 590 at the time just so happened to be Bob Makowitz Sr. So all the pieces kind of come together, and this is where they all cut their teeth. Like, Merrick goes on to have a hell of a career. Strombo goes on to have a hell of a career. Mako had a great career, still working with Strombo. Just kind of wild to all these cats kind of come out of that scene.
Yeah, and the more Small World. What else?
Yeah, I love Small World. I know a guy. I talked to him this morning.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I produce his show, but you had a neighbor or somebody was living next to your home in the summer of 1990.
Yeah, Bob Glassman.
Well, not Bob Glassman. No, come on, just get this
Howard.
right. Yes,
Humble Howard. Humble Howard.
Who's this Bob Glassman?
Yeah, sorry, no. Humble Howard. So he lived on Dury Street.
Okay.
I think it was 1990.
So I can tell you, he moves to Toronto from Montreal the summer of 1989.
I apologize for getting your name, Humble, wrong.
Humble, don't worry. Humble doesn't listen to this program. But yeah, so he was a Bloor West. We'll call that Bloor West Village.
Right? Yeah, Swansea.
I feel like, okay, can we talk about boundaries for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Which side of Bloor Street are we on?
You got to be, people call me Swansea snob. You're in Swansea, Swansea. Blue West Village, we don't call it Blue West Village. That's not.
Okay, but if you're, because remember, I mentioned I went to St. Pius X, okay? That's pretty much Jane and Bloor. But so I know these, I know Armadale and Derry, and I know Windermere. I know these streets, okay? Mm-hmm. These are my streets. I'm from the hood too, man.
Sure.
But we would have called that area, not that I could ever afford to live there, but we would have called that Bloor West Village.
Yeah, but it's
not the same as Swansea.
No.
I would think Swansea was closer to Queensway.
It is. So the boundaries it's actually the only neighborhood in Toronto where it's bounded 3 boundaries by water. So,
whoa, this is a fun fact you're dropping on me.
Yeah, so the boundary is north is Bloor Street.
Yeah. Which is not water, by the way.
That's right. So the other 3 I'm going to do is west is the Humber River.
Yeah.
South is Lake Ontario.
And can I guess?
Yeah.
Grenadier Pond.
Yeah, it's a High Park. That's right.
So Ellis Avenue.
Yep. That's right.
I bike it every Friday.
Yeah,
I go to Dundas and Runnymede and do this walk there.
Yeah.
I take Ellis.
So, there's a lot of snob. We joke about on the internet with snobs, with Swansea snob, and I make little jokes, don't ever go, we call it north of Bloor.
Yeah, I know this joke.
Don't go north of Bloor.
Well, you would have hated where I went yesterday for family day, the stockyards, okay? I was in the stockyards.
Yeah, if you're going north of Bloor, wear your flak jacket, get your business done, and come right back home. Do not.
Oh, it's funny because I make a joke now. It's a stupid joke in the family, but I don't want to go north of Queensway.
Yeah, is that okay?
Because I can actually do the joke where can we avoid going north of Lakeshore?
So there's more to the north of Bloor thing, right? It's
go hit me.
So there's like little memes with like cats looking at you with a stern face, going, me looking at you after you tell me you live in Swansea. But you live north of Bloor.
Yeah.
Because it's not Swansea.
Well, they're doing a scam now. The real estate agents got together and said, hey, Bloor West Village gets you more money than whatever. And I've noticed if you're at let's say Jane and Annette.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in Bloor West Village North. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Really?
Real estate agents, Bloor West Village North.
Bloor West Village North. That's a new one.
Okay, well, let's watch out for these are the people who decided 6 Points was part of the KIP district.
So Bloor West Village does encompass Swansea.
Okay.
And it's
like a Russian egg thing?
Yeah. And then you got north.
And I gotta be careful when I say Russian eggs because, of course, the great Ukrainian festival every summer takes place right there on Bloor Street.
Right, it's fantastic.
It's great.
It's great. So so Bloor West Village. Some people know the word Swansea, but of course, like you say, if you say Bloor West Village, everyone knows that.
I know Swansea, buddy. I know Rennie Park. I know my daughter's playing house league.
Rennie Park.
So let me. So you lived next door or behind? No, you lived right.
Yeah, so there's this laneway
Howard.
There's this laneway that goes behind the house, goes behind my house and behind Howard's house, Humble Howard's house. And he lived there, and I don't know if he was he married at the time?
Yeah, I think he got married in Montreal. Randy Glassman. Yeah.
Okay. So she this was called Down the Back. So we had a 2-car garage and we were the Buelers. So we were quite. Is it infamous or famous? I don't know.
Infamous. If it's nasty, bad stuff going on.
It wasn't bad. It was 70s bad. Drinking, playing loud music, drinking beer.
Notorious, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, and changing out V8 engines, okay, in old '67 Camaros, okay.
Gotcha.
So we would do that a lot, and Howard would
you called him Bob, then you called him Mike.
Yeah. So Howard would come out of his house to the laneway, and he'd come and talk to us. Right?
Okay, I was going to ask if he was nice to you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's nice to us.
He's pretty young, really.
I don't know how old he was.
I don't think he was very old. I mean, today he's 60. I want to say he's like 67 today. I have to look it up.
Yeah,
66
so 5 years older than me. So he would come over a couple of times and there, how's it going? Just talk to us, check out the cars. And, oh, okay. But, he always had this, he never smiled. He always had this this seriousness to him, right? And then he would talk about how much I think he was renting the house and he wanted to buy it. And he talked about how stupidly expensive the money they wanted for it, right? And then he called us the people who live in a beer commercial. Because that's what I guess that's what he saw, right?
Right.
You know, there were people coming in and out, right, playing loud music, beach balls,
Right. Right.
and then I got a little quick with his wife.
Yeah.
Now she was
Randy
small.
Rosenthal.
She was small, long hair.
Yeah, red hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
that's her.
right. Red.
I know
I
her.
thought it was strawberry blonde. She would come over when he wasn't around and bum cigarettes off us. And so now I'm getting her in
I think
trouble.
they were both on the darts back then.
Well, she wasn't supposed to be.
Okay.
So she would come over. Guys, got a cigarette, right? Yeah, sure, no problem, right? Don't tell Howard, right? Oh, of course. No, what do you mean? Don't tell? Of course not. Here you go. Take two. She'd go, thanks, guys. Then she'd leave.
Wow. Okay, listen, you're delivering the real talk in this episode, Todd. I'm loving it. Now, there was an episode recently of Toronto Mike. I think it might win me a Pulitzer, but it was a deep dive into the history of consumers distributing.
Yeah.
What do you know about consumers distributing?
So I don't know Lorraine, right? She's
Right. So you listened to this.
I did.
It's great.
Yeah,
Lorraine was great.
She is fantastic,
Sommerfeld, I believe.
and she's a writer, right? She writes too.
She writes about cars and stuff, and she writes.
Yeah, right. So she told the story all about working at 6 Points, right? 6 Points Consumer Distributing, and how the guys in the back would just throw all the stuff into the dumpster, and then I guess they or their buddies would come back and get it later, right? And I'm guessing to sell it, right?
Good guess.
Now here's the thing. When I heard that, I went, you know what? I know 3 guys from Swansea who worked at 6 Points Consumers like in 1979, 78, 79, 80. And they must have been doing that.
Do you still know these guys?
No, one of them's passed.
Oh, I'm sorry
and
to
the
hear
other
that.
2, one still lives in Swansea, and the other one, I don't know where he is.
Well, that one guy sounds like if we can track that guy down, if you can confirm the statute of limitations has expired.
I'm
okay?
sure it has.
I'm still doing research into this.
I am not going to name these guys, but they were 2 years older than me. So I did hang out with guys older than me. They were 2 years older than me. 2 of them I was kind of close with, the other guy kind of not. But they were, when you're in Swansea, you're in Swansea. So everyone kind of knows everyone, even if you don't hang with them.
I have a couple of questions since you're around.
But I want to get back to the consumers.
Okay, well, you know what? Wrap up the consumers.
Okay,
Take
I'll
your
wrap that
time.
up.
Not that you have to hurry it up, but do the consumers thing.
Yeah.
Because then I have a question about my memories of a restaurant at Windermere and Lakeshore. And then I'm wondering if do your consumers. And then
I will.
I gotta get back to
so what happened was, when she mentioned that, I went, those guys never said anything to me, and I never heard anything about that. And I would think that they would kind of try to sell that stuff to us. Now, I'm not saying that Lorraine is wrong. I'm just saying that I just found that odd. That
were they in the warehouse? These guys?
Yeah, they were in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were doing it, and they're the type who would do it. I'm not saying they're. Well, I guess I am.
But if you do it right, you probably don't tell Big Mouth Todd about it.
100%, right? But I wasn't a big mouth then. But but I don't remember the neighborhoods. Right. I don't remember anything like here's the new Candle stereo, or what is it? Sanyo, Citizen Sanyo, right?
Candle is a big one. Yorks with an X. Yorks.
Yeah. Just so they
Candle.
They
man.
for sure did it, but I don't know why. I don't know why I never heard of it. Maybe
hey man, I got a cool rad Sanyo.
Maybe I was
cassette player for you.
Maybe I was
$20.
I don't know, wasting my time watching Wrath of Khan, right?
So
from the song, right? Grade 9, right?
Okay,
Bare
Wrath
Naked
of
Ladies.
Khan. Okay, this is me in grade 9, baby. Okay, so you mentioned Wrath of Khan. My youngest is doing this music. This is kind of a neat story. My youngest is doing this musical theater thing every Saturday, and it happens to be at
that's great.
where Morningside hits Ellis.
Yep.
Okay, so which is essentially it. Almost if you go a little bit west, now you're on Runnymede, right? So that's where Runnymede begins.
Yep.
This is a lot of like West Toronto. I know this neighborhood so well.
Great.
But my wife and I will go to a coffee shop or something on Bloor Street West, on Bloor Street. And the other day we were walking by the Shoppers Drug Mart, and then I have to tell her, I used to see movies at the Shoppers
the Runnymede
Drug Mart.
Theater.
Right. And I was name checking some movies I saw there, and I had a traumatic experience in that theater watching The Wrath of Khan.
Oh, I don't believe. How could anyone have a traumatic experience watching
I'll tell you.
Wrath of Khan?
Okay, I know what you're saying. It was, for whatever reason, the scene where the slug crawls into that guy's ear. Okay?
Chekhov. He goes into Chekhov's ear.
Okay. So I have to Google what year Wrath of Khan comes out to tell you how old
82.
I was. Okay, 82. So I'm born in 74.
Okay.
So I'm 8.
Oh, wow.
So I'm at 8 years old.
That would be traumatic.
It haunted me. It traumatized me.
Okay.
I can't tell you. And I actually I just shared that little nugget with my wife this Saturday.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I named not the name check, but I saw Beetlejuice there.
Right.
I saw Poltergeist 2 there. I saw Lethal Weapon 2 there.
So why would you share it with her 50 years or 40 years?
Well, she's not, well, just that we don't walk a lot. Like, it's just, we were walking by the movie theaters.
Oh,
like,
and the memory
that's not really our stomping grounds. And it just sparked that memory of Wrath of Khan.
Right.
And it's just funny to hear you mention Wrath of Khan today, and we're talking about that very neighborhood.
Right, yeah. That Runnymede
blow.
Theater. We used to kiss girls in the back row, right? That's what you do. You kiss girls in the back row.
At 8 years old, I wasn't getting much action.
Well, I was.
I'll bet you were. So do you remember at all a Golden Griddle?
Golden Griddle, yeah.
So was it, I'm trying to remember, because now it's like there's, I don't know, building there, but it was...
Ellis.
Wasn't it Windermere in Lakeshore? Am I misremembering?
No, it's east. Yeah, but the whole complex of the building, the hotel.
Oh, maybe it was wide. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's right. So it takes the whole block from Ellis to Windermere.
Could you enter the parking lot to go to Golden Griddle? Could you enter it from Windermere?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. So you remember, right?
Yeah, like I just remember that would be like a very special thing if we went to the Golden Griddle at Windermere and Lakeshore. And now, because I cycle every day, I'm on the Waterfront Trail almost every day. So I'm on the Martin Goodman Trail, and I'm looking over at this big building, and I'm thinking about those eggs the pancakes.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, right?
No, it's long gone.
Right, but I used to take.
If it was there, I wouldn't need to ask you.
I used to take my.
I would Google it. I'd go.
We used to take my kids there for breakfast on Sundays.
Okay, Golden Griddle.
And then they'd start fighting, and we'd have to leave. So.
Okay, sounds about. Are you sure you're not the family from Shameless?
I can never take my kids. They're gonna hit me for this one. Can never take them out for dinner. They just start fighting with each other. They're just, Mom hit me. No, you're touching me. Just all that stuff. Right?
Okay.
Don't make me pull this car over.
We're not talking about the 70s anymore because you're taking your kids there.
That's the nice. So okay, we'll go back to the 70s. Sure.
Okay, well, let me play a song that'll bring us right back.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Back to the 70s, everybody. Specifically, we're going back to we're still in 1973. So we're going in chronological order here. Vicki Lawrence, Paul McCartney and Wings, Elton John, and some obscure band named Pink Floyd.
Oh, that sounds great through the headphones.
Yeah. And it bounces around the which speaker it's coming out of. It's great. Yeah. Tell me about Pink Floyd.
I first heard this song in Frank Master's house in his bedroom. They were the Catholic family who lived up the street. Their dad was a cop. 6 kids.
Was the station on Mavity?
Yeah, 11 Division was on Mavity. Yeah. I don't think he worked. I don't think the dad.
That station's long gone too.
Yeah, not long.
Well, not long, but go on.
5 years, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
There's an FOTM who lives across the street, so shout out to Alan Zweig.
Okay, so I was 14, and I had never, and this had already been out for a bit. But I'd never heard it. I was still teeny bopper listening to Michael Jackson and Top 40. Right.
Well, they weren't playing this on CFDR or Chum.
Right. So I went in. I was looking. 6 kids, three boys, 3 girls, and a couple of them were in my age group. And so I went up there one day, and I was looking for one of the brothers, and wasn't there. And Frank just said, "Bueller, come up to my room. I want you to hear something." I just went, "What? What are you talking about, Frank?" Frank's a couple years older than me, but I knew him. So we go up there, and I said, "Okay." And pulls out this album with a prism on it. I had never seen it before. I had no idea what it was. And he drops the needle on this thing, this beautiful black vinyl. And the music just starts to envelop you, man. And after that, I saved up some money, went and bought the album from Sam the Record Man on Bloor.
Oh yeah, near Jane, right?
Right on, yep.
Yep, I used to go there too.
And I got it home and I played it on my brother's stereo in his room when he wasn't around. Because you don't do that, right? You get your crap beat out of you by your older brother. So I did it when he wasn't around, and after that, I stopped listening to Top 40, and I started listening to this.
That was an awakening.
Epiphany, awakening.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like, that's it, man. This is the stuff. This is for me now, right? This is rock and roll.
You can't chew bubble gum when you've been so nourished.
This is serious music. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So if you wanted to hear this on the radio in Toronto, would Chum FM play it?
Yeah, definitely.
104.5?
Yeah, but we weren't listening to that then, right?
What about Q, though? Would Q play this?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow. You know what you're doing? And I thank you for this, because you're painting a brilliant picture of being a teenager in the 70s in the neighborhoods I know. Like, this is fantastic.
It's great. It's great to talk to someone who knows the neighborhood well.
In that Chris Higgins episode, which is a good companion because we go deep into the Humber River. So,
right.
We talk about, because I like to kayak it and I bike the trail.
Yeah.
And one of that bike ride I do up to Stephen Drive or whatnot. I got to go by the what I call, and I know
Stonegate.
Yes, you got it. Stonegate.
Yeah.
I got a it's where Barry Road.
Yeah.
Stephen Drive.
Yeah.
You come out because on your way there from the Humber River, you're going to pass what looks like a flying saucer.
That's right, the Oculus.
The Oculus.
That's right.
What do you know about the Oculus?
So, we had no idea that it was called that. I still don't even know what that word means. We called it the Mexican hat.
Oh.
Okay. So we would go there when we were 11, 12 years old on our skateboards, and you could climb up on top of this Oculus thing, and we skateboarded inside it, on top of it. Yeah.
I can see it. I can't believe you did that because it sounds very dangerous.
Well, there's this giant hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful not to skateboard into the hole, right? So we would do that, and
this sounds like a suicide mission.
well, when you're a kid, you. So a lot of the times, the board would go flying into the hole. Then your friends would start laughing at you. What a goofy Bueller, right? And then you'd have to climb down, get your board, climb back up. So that's my that's.
Well, I'm glad because once in a while the graffiti artists get to that thing.
There was not like
Nothing
that.
like that back
no,
then.
It was clean, right? And we also
I think it was, by the way, I'll point out, in the 90s when I would go by that, it was also clean. So I
Okay,
think the
good.
graffiti thing is like a 2000s phenomenon.
It's too bad because it looks just great clean, right?
But they do clean it up, and I think it's clean right now, to be honest. I was by it the other
Yeah.
day. But I love it. It's like a monument. It's a touch point when when you're doing this route here.
We used to ride our dirt bikes there too, right? Our little Honda mini trails, and I think I had a 125 Suzuki. That thing climbed trees, right? We used to just open it up, right? And then the cops couldn't get you, right? They're not coming in on Harleys or their cars in there, right? So
Right.
So yeah, we used to do that. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely.
There's some good wildlife you can spot in that area there. You can find deer there quite a bit. Did you know that?
I did. I never saw any when we were a kid, but we didn't pay attention.
You weren't there for the deer.
No, we were there to just...
You were there for the tail, not the deer.
Yeah, just to, I don't know, do things you're not supposed to be doing as a kid.
Shout out to Patio Chair. Feel like that's a new handle. So Patio Chair, if I would know you by another name, let me know. But Patio Chair was a 1970s Etobicoke teen. And Patio Chair is watching our live stream here. And Hey Ref was a 1970s North York teen. So I think your stories are... you don't have to be a Swansea guy to appreciate your stories. Like, it's just fun to hear. This is what it was like growing up in Toronto in the 1970s. So I'm actually going right into the next song, and then I have some very specific questions about neighborhoods closer to where I live now.
Sure.
chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. My little baby sister can do it with ease. It's easier than learning your ABC.
Great song. Great song.
Come on and do the locomotion with me.
But Todd, this doesn't sound like Little Eva.
This is the best version too, right? This is at the Swansea dances too, right?
I think the best version is the version you hear when you're a teenager.
100%. You're right. You know,
Because I remember growing up as I think I was a teen. Kylie Minogue had a hit with this song, the
I don't know
Australian
that
pop
name.
star.
Is that right?
It was a big hit.
you could win this on a 45, right? With the draw, you win this with a bag of 10-cent chips, right?
Oh wow!
At the dance draw,
And it's Grand Funk Railroad, if we haven't pointed that out yet.
Grand
so.
Funk Railroad, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there's a good cover for you of Locomotion. And I'm going to use this opportunity to ask you, again, back to the Higgins episode. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I brought up the Mimicombo,
Oh yeah, just down the street from here.
where James Brown made his first Canadian concert appearance at the Mimicombo, because there's another place I go by all the time, but there's no evidence it was ever a place teenagers would want to hang. Like, it's no longer a Mimicombo, but what can you tell me about the Mimicombo?
Well, we used to roller skate there up on the second floor, the Mimicombo. We would take the streetcar down, and we wouldn't tell our parents that we were leaving the neighborhood.
You would come all the way west
Yeah,
to Mimico.
Yeah,
Wow.
down to Mimico, right? And we got our cigarettes, smoking cigarettes, and some.
And what was Mimico like in the 70s? I mean, it's pretty rough now.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember any problems with that at all.
Okay.
So yeah,
But you're a Swansea kid. You're like,
Yeah.
I know, I speak the language. Let's go.
yeah, we didn't. We really didn't leave Swansea too often. You know, it was,
Why would anyone want to leave Swansea?
Yeah. So when you did leave, it was like you were on guard, right? Because it's not your turf,
It's not
man.
your turf.
Yeah.
Right. That's
So
wild.
so we would skate up on the second floor, right? It was the second floor, and we would skate a wood floor.
So what was the first floor?
I have no idea.
Okay. So the second floor was the roller skating rink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when James Brown plays, is he playing that second floor? Or is there something
I have
down
no
there?
idea.
Okay, because that's before. Okay.
So we used to go. So we used to cause problems, right? And they had these guys called cruisers, and cruisers were like rink guards, right? Or is that what you call them? We used to call them rink finks, right? Guys who
they were there to monitor you, that
Yeah.
nobody did anything stupid.
kids doing stupid stuff, and
Okay.
right,
It's a full-time job.
So there were the same guys on roller skates, right? And man, could they skate? Like, you're going around, and all of a sudden they come flying up. You're skating backwards.
Wow.
And all of a sudden they're in front of you, skating backwards, and you're already skating forwards. So when they're just like talking to you, like, slow down, and they're just skating backwards like they're walking.
Wow.
Right, and you're skating really fast, right?
Right.
So it's like when that came up, you knew you got to be careful, because if there was no 3 strikes, I think there was 2.
You get 2 strikes.
Yeah.
So when
and then you're gone.
Oh, I think there might be a bowling alley.
Oh, could be.
You just said strikes. You said 2 strikes.
okay.
And my brain started thinking of,
Oh, good.
they call 3 strikes.
Oh, good.
in a
That
roller
makes
turkey.
sense.
I
Yeah.
think one floor is a bowling alley of the Mimicombo.
The main
and then it's the roller rink. I think the
Right.
main floor is a bowling alley.
Okay. That
Like,
sure.
I never got to go there. I only know this from, history lessons.
So we would do something called the whip.
Yeah.
So the whip is, you would get on roller skates, you would get like 5, 6, 7 people together, and you'd hold on to each other and in a conga line, I guess, right? In single file line. Oh, this is great
Let it
music.
brew in the background
Yeah,
while you tell me the whip story.
Yeah. So you'd skate around holding each other's hands or behind or waists or whatever, or arms actually, and then you'd go around and around and around. The faster you went, if you're near the end, right, the centrifugal force would just like throw you right into the boards, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah, and you immediately got kicked out for that if the ring card, if the cruiser
No whipping.
saw you, yeah, you don't do the whip.
I think Devo recorded a song about it. Whip it good.
Whip it good. Devo, 1978. You know, it's funny because that guy who's the City TV guy who just left? Is his name Devo or is it Devil?
Oh, I know. You're talking about Devo Brown.
Devo.
I think it's Devo.
Is it? So I'm going Devo. That's,
I think he's on. I know he's on 92.5.
Oh, okay.
As well, and I think his last day is March 27th.
yeah. So like, can you like that band Devo? I can't remember. I can't believe it's 1978.
Okay, so just a book. So I actually just had a chat with Rob Bruce, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
About I'm going to do a one-man show. You should buy tickets.
I will.
You and all your friends in Swansea should buy tickets. Fill the fucking Elma. It's the Elma Combo. It's the Starlight Room at the Elma Combo.
Yeah.
And fill that room
Okay.
with Swansea heads. Okay?
I will try.
I'm telling you, Todd, that's the price of your visit here today. You got to buy some tickets.
I'll do it.
And I have Rob Bruce on stage, and I'm going to do this performance. It's a story, but it's all tied in with mind blows and fun facts, and there's these musical cues, and then Rob Bruce plays music on the keyboard because he's a prodigy.
Wow.
He was in Spoons.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
Spoons. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, I got to turn this up in a second. But long-winded way of saying, absolutely on the playlist, he's going to play Satisfaction, but not the Rolling Stones version. He's playing the Devo version. Devo has a big yes.
Satisfaction.
You got it.
Weird, yeah.
That's happening May 21 at the Elma Combo. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone I know.
Buy them all tickets. That'll be your
Buy them all tickets?
St. Patrick's Day gift to all your friends. Okay.
Toronto might think I'm a millionaire.
I want to put. I don't know why I need to say this. It doesn't matter if I did or not. But I'm actually making no money on this event. But somebody should make back a little bit of the money they invested, and it's not me. Okay. Supertramp School.
Yeah, great song, man. See, this is when I'm getting into. I joke with my kids now about it, right? Like, this is serious music, right? Because it's
complex.
only cool people listen to this, man.
Do you have to be high or a little drunk?
No, not at
you can do
all.
it sober.
For sure.
Yeah, Supertramp, Breakfast in America.
But it's not
Not
to
from
say that you could not do those. Imbibe, I guess. Is that the word?
Imbibe, yeah. I-M-B-I-B. Yeah, you're the author.
Yeah.
I know you dropped out at 15.
Well, I have editors.
You don't pay them enough. I'm going to let this bang out for a bit, and then I want to ask you about the neighborhood west of Mimico.
Yeah, sure.
You can visualize what neighborhood that is. Yeah, I'm going to get Bruce on this.
Listen to this piano.
Wow. Hey, Todd, just drop by every, I don't know, once or twice a week, and we'll just play songs from the 70s and just listen and react.
You got it. No problem.
Bring me donuts.
I will bring donuts.
I'll give you the Great Lakes beer. You bring me the donuts. Can I have another donut?
Of course.
Like, am I allowed to have two?
Sounds like a deal. Beer for donuts.
What do you remember about the neighborhood west of Mimico, which I affectionately refer to by its proper name, New Toronto?
New Toronto. That's where we are now. We're in New Toronto.
You're in New Toronto right now, my friend.
Right. I lived here for a year.
Which year? Gotta be ultra Pacific, but specific. That's how my youngest used to say specific.
83?
Okay, 83. You were living in New Toronto.
83?
Were you working at Campbell's Soup? What was going on?
No, I wasn't working at
Goodyear?
Campbell's Soup. Right across the street, though. I lived on Lake Crescent.
Yeah.
21. So what was I? 83, 21. Yeah. So I moved out with my girlfriend.
What if I told you, I don't want to blow your mind here,
Yeah.
what if I told you Lake Crescent was not New Toronto?
That would blow my mind.
Mimico. The border
What's
is
the
Dwight.
border? It's the border, Dwight? So I'm like 50 feet from the border.
You're not. I'm here to tell Todd, that year he thought he lived in New Toronto. He was living in Mimico.
Well, okay, I will not tell that again. Yeah.
Is that in the book? In the book, does it refer to Lake
No.
Crescent as Mimico? I mean,
No.
New Toronto?
No, it doesn't. It's just that
Because I would demand a recall.
Yeah, no, it's just that me and my girlfriend at the time.
Thought you were in New Toronto.
We moved. We just moved out on our own for a short time, and then we got married, and then we moved back into my parents' house in the basement.
Okay, back to Swansea.
Back to Swansea, yeah,
You can't
not
get out.
Blue West Village, Swansea, man, Swansea.
Right. I know. I realize I could talk to you for hours. I'm actually going to the next jam, and then I have some very specific questions for you.
Sure.
Not Pacific questions, but
Sure.
specific questions.
Oh man.
Listen to this in the headphones, okay?
Yeah.
I think I think this episode will be very popular. Oh, wait. Whoa. It feels like foreplay or something.
Tom Schultz. Took him 6 years to write this song and record it like it. 6 years. To crank this in the car, man.
You can't hit the post of this song. Like, is there lyrics?
Yeah. For a while, not for a while though. No, you can't hit the post in this song. It's too long. Right before you start talking, right? Before
you could give all the NHL scores.
Yeah, that's right. You could not. You got to explain to your listeners what hitting the post means.
You explain it to my listeners. If my listener doesn't know, they're not paying attention. You go.
I'll explain it. You want it now, or you want to listen to more music?
Where's the you know what? I'll bring this down and you tell us, what do you mean? What do we mean when we talk about hitting the post?
So DJs, what they used to do was hitting the post means they would talk over the beginning of the song and stop talking, finish their thought right when the lyrics start. And that is quite a skill to have. Really, really hard to do.
It was harder back then in the 70s because there was no computer telling you where the post is. Do you know now if you're at a station?
They tell you?
Yeah.
That's cheating, man.
This song is epic. I'm not even familiar with this Boston song. This is called Foreplay Long Time.
Yeah, it's off their first album.
I know More Than a Feeling, and that's about it for me in Boston.
Oh, man, you got to listen to this whole album.
Oh, there's words.
There we go. Yeah.
So this is actually probably the worst song, but maybe with a future song I'm going to kick out, You Could Hit the Post.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to hit the post.
So
I'm not a DJ.
You had, and I've been in radio stations. I never worked at one, but I've been in radio stations where the computer has got it all loaded up. It's all preloaded, so no one's sticking on a piece of vinyl or anything. So it has a countdown clock to where the posts are.
That's no good.
Multiple posts in songs.
No good.
Like sometimes it'll be, this is the countdown to where the guitar kicks in. Or the drums or something.
That's fake.
And this is where the words come in.
That's fake.
You couldn't screw it up if you tried.
I wouldn't do it. I would not use that.
I'm just moving on. You forget about me after I've been gone. And I take what I find. I don't want no more. It's just outside of your front door.
Woo!
Yeah. It's been such a long time. It's been such a long time.
I love it. So 1976 for
Yeah.
this Boston Jam.
You know, this song is in my book. We popped this 8-track just as we were getting away from the pool hustlers who wanted to kill us.
Well, don't bury the lead. Go ahead. This song happens to be very, very long, so you have plenty of time to tell this story.
Well, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but it's you got to get the book. But we were trying to hustle some older guys, and we did. And they came after us.
Hold on, Todd. I'm in your book right now.
Okay.
There's a picture of your mom
Yeah.
wearing roller skates.
Yeah.
Your mom's a fox in this photo. Am I allowed to tell you that?
Yeah, she's a good-looking woman. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she's probably 18 there. 1949, I think, the year she got married. She was in the 70s. She was a Canadian Esquire champion, roller skating champion. Dance. Couples.
And this shot is in Swansea.
Yeah, that's
Lavinia.
Right. Yeah, that's on the left side is my childhood home, 85 Lavinia. And she trained at the Terrace down on Mutual Street. Right. Yeah.
And sorry for interrupting, but I just opened up the book.
Yeah.
And it's funny, this crest, this Swansea Hockey League, 69-70, we had the same crest, except it would be like 82, 83 or whatever.
And these crests are not from something I found on the internet. Those are my crests. I have them.
Those are yours.
Yeah,
okay.
they're mine. Yeah.
I think all future Toronto Mic'd episodes would just be people telling me about their teenage years. Yeah, and this photo, okay, there's your 1974. So this photo of you at Swansea Hockey here, that's the year of my birth.
Do you see where I am there?
You're second from the right. Everybody knows that. You're 12 years old.
I'm on the bottom.
I don't know. I can't.
Is that Running Meat Hardware?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
These photos are fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I have those photos. I keep everything, man. My wife, is constantly on me to get rid of stuff. I won't do it.
You got a chapter called The Joys of Having Children. Is that like making the babies or actually having a kid?
You figure it out.
I feel like there's a couple of minutes of joy having children.
Yeah, that's just, the book is about 75% my teenage years in the 70s, and you got a little bit in the front, right, and then you got a little bit on the back end, right, and probably into my 30s a little bit. So that's parts of the joys of having children, and when you read that, I'm sure you'll be able to relate. Anyone who's had a kid would be able to relate. They're on a reality drug, right?
I'm going to say a name to you.
Yeah.
And tell me if I should know this name.
Sure. If you should know it or me.
Well, if I should know it. You'll know it because it's in your book.
Okay.
Cheryl LeDrew.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know Runny Park very well, right?
Very well.
So.
And I'll be there every Wednesday night for many, starting May 20th.
You know Runny Terrace, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a little hill that goes into the park.
Yep.
Runny Terrace, right? So in Swansea in the 70s, very few people came to Swansea, families or new people, and very few people left. It was pretty much you knew everyone for your whole life, right? There were sometimes that happened, right? And this family, the LeDrew family, was in Swansea, not a long time, 5 years, maybe 8, I think. I don't want to get that too wrong. I don't want to get up. Anyways, they were 6 kids too, just like the Masters family up the street. 6 kids, three girls, 3 boys. And they lived on Dury Street, just south of Bloor, so they lived in Swansea. And then they later moved over to Runnymede, just north of DeForest, so still Swansea. So they had left, and I say in my book something that a few people have told me that they really like this little thing that I say, that we all live within the confines of our own contradictions. So what does this mean, right? And it means a little bit about regret, but so when I was a teenager, it was all about being cool and cliquey. Is it cliquey or clicky?
Either are acceptable in Toronto Mic'd.
Yeah, and if you weren't cool, you weren't in, right? If you weren't cool, you were a nerd and you were out and you didn't, right?
Yeah.
So the LeDrews moved away, and there was Tammy LeDrew, who was my age, and Cheryl LeDrew, which I think she was a year older than me. But I didn't really hang out with her that much, but I knew her and she knew me. And I think I did go around with Tammy for a little bit. So in those days, going around, that meant going steady for people who don't know, right? Like, will you go around with me? Yeah, that type of thing.
We learned that from Happy Days.
You're right. Okay, yeah. Did they use the word going around?
No, they used going steady.
Going steady, right. But we didn't use that term.
Also, Archie comics, too.
Oh,
I would hear about going steady on Archie comics.
Right. So one day they came back for a visit to Swansea, and I'm pretty sure I was 16. And I was sitting in my 62 T-Bird on Runny Terrace, just on the top of the hill there, and she had come up to say hi to me. So she was there visiting, And I said, hi, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. This is Cheryl, not Tammy. This is Cheryl. And she got in the car. And I don't know why I was sitting there, but she got in the car and we just started talking together. And she said, how are you? And everything like that, right? And this is at the point where I was, she goes, so you hang out? This is at the point in my life where I was just this cliquey guy, this immature, cool guy. And listened to cool music, said cool things, had cool friends, had cool clothes, cool car. And so she said, do you ever see so-and-so anymore? And I go, no, right? Not really. And she goes, why not? I said, I don't know, right? And women mature much quicker than boys. Let's put it that way. Girls mature much quicker, especially psychologically. So I think she kind of knew why I wasn't seeing. She asked me about other people. And I think she kind of knew why. And she just looked at me and she just went, because they're not cool, right, Todd? And she wasn't cool. She was like, knew that is it that important to you, Todd, that they're cool? And and she knew, right? So she was kind of telling me this, and I just went, yeah. And so she said she got to go and she left. And I thought about that conversation.
Yeah.
And she was right. It was just so stupid, just so immature, and I wasted so much time.
Wow.
Right? But I kept doing it a little bit, right? I kept clicking. So that's the confines of your own contradictions. Meaning, I knew that it was not right, but I kept doing it. So I was living a contradiction there, right? Morally, right? After she said that to me, right? She's smart.
And that conversation stuck with you all these years.
Yeah.
It's amazing to have that connection with somebody and they say something that resonates.
100%. Yeah.
I like to think every episode of Toronto Mike is affecting people in that very way.
I'm sure it does.
As I down my third donut here.
Yeah. So I that comes with regret, right?
Right.
I regret.
That's deep thinking, It's not just, your book is not just, here's the stuff we did in the 70s in Swansea when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It's a lot deeper than that.
It is. Like on the surface, the book is just about me growing up in the 70s as a teenager, what I saw, what I did, what I experienced. But on a deeper level, it's really a philosophy book, right? And
You're a philosopher.
Well, from what I've experienced, right? And I talk a lot in the book about things about how I lived my life, how I chose to live my life. And after she told me that, she said that to me, well, she was telling me it's a waste what you're doing. But she didn't. She was so subtle and nice about it. She didn't want to offend me, but I got it. So after that, I kind of started getting out of that. I continued to do it a little bit, but I got out of it. So, a lot of people who've read the book have asked me, talked to me, or sent me messages and asked me if I've ever had regrets of all this stuff I did, right?
Right.
And I got to tell you, I have pretty much zero regrets in my life, right?
You're like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Regrets, you have a few, but too few to mention.
Too few to mention, right? I would do it all again with a few, but that one thing, I regret being a stupid, immature, cliquey kid. And
you were only about 15 years old when this conversation happened, right?
Yeah. If you're 16, I think I might have been 16. Yeah, that's right.
Come sail away with me.
music from the 70s, like you put together this playlist for me and we're kicking it out and I'm listening in the headphones, it sounds sort of like interplanetary, like spaceships, and it feels futuristic.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, there is a lot of that.
Like the Boston Jam, the Supertramp Jam, Pink Floyd. This is like, listen to this.
I think it was the technology too, right? This is when all that technology started coming online, so they're experiencing.
Yeah, because Kraftwerk was, all that stuff.
Experimenting with it, sorry, yeah.
Listen to this song. This is 1977. So Come Sail Away is a great opportunity for me to ask you, Todd, about working at the Argonaut Rowing Club.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much there to talk about. That's when I was the IT manager there for 10 years. And people know it's down on the lake shore. It's been there for more than 100 years. And I quit that job to finish working on my book. I was working on my book, I guess, for a year, and I needed more time to dedicate to it, because when I started the book, it was just a few stories, and then I decided I was going to write a book, and then when I started getting into it, I got, oh boy, this is a lot more than I thought.
A lot, like as you write, you remember more.
Yeah. So I left the Argonaut Rowing Club to become a writer. And I finished the book, published it.
And it's all a very long route to finally become an FOTM.
It was a long route, yeah. It was a long route. But, the book is story-driven. I don't know did I say that already? The book is very story-driven, right? And there's a lot of fun stories in it. It's not all serious. There's a lot of laughs, a lot of chase scenes, a lot of cop chase scenes, there's no way a lot of James Bond type of stuff in the book, right? It's a lot of excitement. And then there's also a lot of, some funny stuff, some sad stuff. But it is story driven. So you can read like the table of contents, which one of them is they like, I'm not getting in that trunk. People like the.
You going to a drive-in?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was at Parkland Cemetery.
I go there often because it's a good biking spot, and Harold Ballard's in there.
Yeah, he's. You know what? Yeah, you talked about Harold with Chris Higgins.
Jeff Merrick was working at Park Lawn and helped bury him.
I was there when the funeral when they did it. It's in the northwest.
It's
part,
very
right?
much the northwest.
Corner.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So whatever you do, don't take your clothes off and get on a car in there, okay? Because your friends will take off on you nude. Yeah, that story's in the book.
It's in the book. I'm just looking at a few of your ticket stubs from back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'll just let you know, I see 4 bands represented. I see 5, and I'm going to skip the Rolling Stones.
Sure.
And 3 of these 4 bands are FOTM bands. And let me explain. So you have Triumph.
Yeah.
A couple of members of Triumph have been on Toronto Mike. April Wine.
Yeah.
Miles Goodwin's been on Toronto Mike. The late, great Miles Goodwin.
Great. Yeah. Just amazing. These people are amazing musicians.
And I can tell you the current, not the guy you saw, but the current lead singer of Styx. Yeah. Do you know who it is?
I do. I think his name is Larry.
Larry Gowan.
There you go.
So Larry's been on the program.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gowan. And then you have the Cars. What's it like seeing
Cars?
What year is this?
I don't know. It says 78. What's the?
They never. I noticed in a lot of these ticket stubs is you don't get calendar years. Like it's
no,
June
there
14.
is.
Okay.
No,
yeah, 78.
Yeah, there's name. Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's just real small font here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my wife's
Even
ticket.
with my readers, I can't see.
I never saw the cards. That's my wife's ticket.
Oh, it's your wife's ticket.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't go with her to that concert.
Come on.
But the April Wine concert, that's in the book.
It's in the book.
That's in the book, man.
Have you ever seen Heart live?
No. I would love to have seen Heart live.
Quick question about your book here, if you don't mind me jumping in there.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, you use sayings in this book. Renegade, for example.
Yeah. Renegade, not rebel.
Not rebel. So what's the difference to you, renegade versus rebel?
There's a difference. People use them interchangeably, and they think they're synonymous, but they're not. They're completely different. So a rebel is someone who goes and tries to break the system, right? And just and is really against the system and is militant and gets in trouble. But a renegade just doesn't participate in the system, or just kind of sort of not a dropout, but just won't do what you're supposed to do, not actively fight it, right? Not going out and fighting, just I'm not going to participate. So there's a big difference, and I was a renegade, not a rebel. I never rebel. I never tried to rebel. I never tried to shock adults, although that did happen on occasion, but it wasn't on purpose. It was just, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't want to do it. And just throw the consequences at me and we'll see how it goes.
So, Todd, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to roll out of this great heart jam.
Yeah.
Into another FOTM jam. So the singer, a member of this band, has been on Toronto Mic'd. And then we're going to do mop up before we say goodbye.
Sure.
This has been amazing. And anything, the hottest stuff that we haven't talked about that you want to share, it's all going underneath this song.
Yeah, okay.
So let's listen to Heart, Barracuda, and then an FOTM band.
Webster. High Class. Gonna say, Todd, not just high class and borrowed shoes. You got it, man. Like Kim Mitchell before he was Kim Mitchell, right? He was that great guitar player in that band, and we listened to this stuff just at 10, driving around Swansea in our cars, right?
I can picture it. I can just picture you guys driving around Swansea in your cars, listening to Max Webster. You're in 1977, baby.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, there's another saying in my book that's just, it's right at the beginning of the book. It's, the past is not dead. It lives in each and every one of us. So remember that, because, you know, when I write, this is when it all comes back to me. This is when it all comes back. All the details and the more I write, all the memory comes back. And that's how I wrote my book. Like when I was starting to write the book, when I said to my wife, I'm gonna write a book, she went, how are you gonna have enough material for a book? I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna remember the stuff. She goes, how much stuff happened to you, man?
She's like, you can't read a book. How are you gonna write one?
Yeah. So, you know, there's that memory thing is just that's how I remember when I'm writing. It just all comes back to me.
Well, I'm very glad you wrote this book.
Thanks.
And I'm glad that Chris Higgins had you write me an email, because I'm glad we could hang out for, 90 minutes.
It's been blunt.
Listen, these are 10 songs you chose, and I dug it, man. I just dug talking about the old neighborhood I still frequent, but just kind of neat to chew the fat about the old hood. And
Well, if you see me racing around in a car, you just point at your wife. That's that Todd Bueler, that crazy Todd Bueler kid.
Remember I told you about that Todd Bueler kid?
That's him.
That's him. Amazing. I still need to so Swansea's not a neighborhood unto itself.
There's micro neighborhoods.
So micro neighborhoods. So, because I know Mimico's a neighborhood, New Toronto's a neighborhood, Long Branch is a neighborhood. But you're telling me that, Bloor West Village is a neighborhood and Swansea is a micro neighborhood?
Swansea's a neighborhood, and inside of Swansea there are micro neighborhoods inside Swansea.
Can you name some? What are some micro neighborhoods inside Swansea?
So you have the main grid.
Yeah.
So I coined all these terms in my book. No one's really ever talked about this before, and I actually made the borders too, and it's in my book.
Okay.
So the main grid is where all the infrastructure is: the Swansea Rec Center, the Rennie Park, the Swansea School, the fire hall. Mm-hmm. So that's all the main grid, and that's where the real snobs.
Where DeForest.
Yep. Bloor.
You mentioned Ellis earlier, but Ellis, Runnymede, DeForest.
Kennedy.
Kennedy, of course.
It's Kennedy to Windermere.
Yep.
And then from the school to Bloor.
Oh God,
that's the main grid. And if you're there, that's where the real Swansea snobs are. If anyone says you live out of there, that's not Swansea. Where do you live? I live down on Southport Street. That's not Swansea.
my buddy Ed lived in Southport there. Yeah.
So the other ones are of course Ellis, right, where some rich people live there. And then you have South Swansea, which would be the condos, Swansea Mews, Cohill Drive, right? Yep. And then you have over on the other side, you have South Kingsway.
Of course.
Which goes up to Morningside. And then you have Armadale, which is east. It's west of Windermere, south of Bloor, and then it goes to South Kingsway.
South Kingsway.
Yeah,
right.
and then you have Riverside Drive. Riverside's is separate. So all these neighborhoods are complete. They're different. When I was growing up, they still are now. I mean, you knew where people were different. There were different social economic things going on there, and they felt different. Each of those little micro neighborhoods felt different. Now, not everyone will agree with me. Everyone go, "Oh no, yeah, do we have to be so divisive and stuff like that?" Right? But it's just a fact. It wasn't divisive. That's just the way it is.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,851st show. How can people get a copy of The Life of a 1970s Teenager?
Well, it's you can get a signed copy at independent bookstore down on Queen Street called Book People on Queen. It's just east of Ronces. And, of course, you can get online at that big store that starts with an A.
But no, go to that independent spot in Ronces.
Yeah,
that's where you
go. Definitely.
How come the Ronces, the Polish festival, competes... It's the same time as the Ukrainian festival?
I don't know why they do that. I think they used to have it at different times. It should be at different times.
It's you got to choose, but they're both pretty
They're
rad.
both great. So the other place you can get it is, of course, the Toronto Public Library. Just go in and ask for it. I think they've ordered it, but they've got it. Yeah, and the one other thing is there's maps in the book.
Yeah,
and you can get limited edition, hand-signed, hand-numbered by the artist, local Toronto artists, of full-size maps from the book from CamOjeda.art.com.
OJEDA.
Right.
So Cam is in Cam Gordon. Cam OJEDA
art.com. Yep. And he's hand-signed, individually numbered. And there's also that comes with a letter of authenticity signed by me and hand numbered by me that'll match your print.
Go to TorontoMike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. At the very top, there's a link for Elmo Gig. Buy a couple of dozen tickets. That's May 21st at the Elmo Combo. Much love to all who made this possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery. That's Palma Pasta. That's Nick Iones. That's RecycleMyElectronics.ca. That's Ridley Funeral Home. See you tomorrow where Rita Zekas makes her Toronto Mike debut.